From Thor becoming the Rune King to the setup of Steve versus Doom, you probably already understand all of that by now. But there is also one such character who has come into this universe from the next multiverse, the one currently in play, to help the Avengers, and no one has even gotten a hint about it. And if you think about it, that secrecy is necessary, because after Endgame, Marvel hasn't really had a proper Trinity to bet everything on. If they put Spider-Man at the forefront, Sony would become too heavily involved. That's why Marvel has placed all its bets on characters that were introduced before 2019. This is the reason you mostly see Shang-Chi being carried forward through Phase 4 and Phase 5. Even he is involved here, mainly because he has the 10 rings, which can completely change the game. So let's break this down step by step and also figure out who that mystery character is who can change everything. We start with Thor, because his story in Doomsday is going to be the most powerful. Thor began as an arrogant warrior and became a selfless warrior in the first Thor movie. In Thor 2, he understood what it truly means to be a king, and in the third part, he fulfilled the duties of a king. In the Avengers movies, if you look at his role, he generally fits into two categories. First, the big hitter, and second, the one who discovers a crucial piece of the puzzle that the other Avengers have no idea about. For example, in Age of Ultron, he had already figured out that someone was after the Infinity Stones and was collecting them. Then in Infinity War, he powers himself up with a new weapon to fight Thanos. Now it's pretty clear that Thor's character arc in the MCU is almost complete, but one arc is still left, and that is the Magician arc. For those who don't know, the male character arc consists of the king, the warrior, the lover, and the magician. There has already been all of these except the magician. And guess what? Only one storyline truly fits Thor's magician arc, and that is Rune King Thor. Odin losing his eye in battle was symbolism and a parallel from the comics, where Odin only gained true wisdom and greater powers after losing his eye, eventually transforming into the Allfather. Now, a similar moment has arrived in the MCU, where Thor will go through a massive transformation, one where he becomes a wise king like Odin and does what is necessary, not just what a warrior or even a traditional king would do. For this, he will need even more power, and that power will come through this very path. You'll get a hint of this directly from Thor's own words when you watch Doomsday Teaser 2. For now, just understand this. Thor will return not as some random warrior fighting only for his daughter or the Avengers, but as the biggest twist the MCU has ever seen. Now let's talk about the core story of Avengers Doomsday. In simple terms, the Avengers want to save the body even after infection, while Doom wants to destroy the entire body after infection and create a completely new one that he controls. In other words, he wants to be the mind and the heart of that body himself. At first, we thought Doom needed Wanda, but now it seems like he actually only needs the children. Think about it. Every Avengers child has something special. Thor's daughter was born from eternity. Steve's child was born from the union of two universes, because Steve went from the main timeline into a branch timeline and became a father there. Hulk's son is also a result of magic and strength, since his mother from Sakaar was an alien magician. And about Hulk himself, you already know, Wanda's son is practically her carbon copy, something we clearly understood from Agatha all along. And if we talk about Franklin, that child literally brought his dead mother back to life while still being a kid. Looking at all this, Dr. Doom could easily use these children to achieve his goal, because Doom has always played smart. He has always achieved everything by using someone else's power. In the original Secret Wars, he took the power of the Beyonders, and in the newer version, Molecule Man helped him. He could do something similar here, targeting these children and extracting power from them. Not absorbing their power like Wanda does, but manipulating it. Plus, molding children is the easiest thing to do. That's exactly why even Vecna targets children. And this is where a personal reason comes into play. Now, I know you might say that from the X-Men side, there isn't really any child involved. But remember that long-running rumor that Sadie Sink is a mutant. At first, people thought she might be Jean Grey, which didn't make much sense. But now reports suggest that she isn't Jean Grey at all. Instead, she is Rachel Summers, the daughter of Cyclops and Jean Grey, who not only has Jean's powers, but also the Phoenix Force. This actually makes sense because we know that after Secret Wars in the MCU's Earth, we'll see mutants, the Fantastic Four, and the Avengers all together. So there's a strong chance that Rachel Summers has come from that new world created after Secret Wars, either to help this timeline, or she ended up here due to a power glitch. Now, if you remember, in Days of Future Past, we were shown that Kitty Pryde sends Wolverine's consciousness into the past. But if you actually read the comics, this power originally belongs to Rachel, and in reality, it's Rachel who does this. And when Rachel gains the Phoenix Force, she becomes so powerful that she can even time travel. This is important because in Marvel Comics, the Phoenix Force is a part of the Cosmic Order, and it chooses a host, usually Jean Grey. Rachel's arrival also sidelines Hulk from Doomsday, because Hulk isn't really needed in Doomsday. That's why, so far, we haven't heard any news related to Hulk in Avengers Doomsday. Besides, mutants suddenly appearing in the MCU wouldn't make much sense anyway. You probably remember Deadpool 2, where Cable appeared. That Cable was actually Rachel's brother. He uses time travel with the help of his time technology. Rachel, on the other hand, can time travel using the Phoenix Force itself. Apart from this, she could also appear again in both Doomsday and Secret Wars. And it's not just Rachel who has come from the post-Secret Wars world. Old Steve is also from that new world. The shield that he gave to Sam actually belongs to a future version of Sam. Steve came to the past specifically to give this shield so that Sam could fulfill his role in Doomsday and Secret Wars, because old Steve knows the entire story of Doomsday and Secret Wars. If you look closely, the shield Sam has now has a slightly different design, and it matches the comic version much more closely. Because of this, we can assume that maybe Tony designed it, Thor hammered it into shape, and the vibranium was supplied by their Wakandan brother. In reality, Cap didn't come back just to pass on a mindset or a moral legacy. He gave future Sam's shield to past Sam, so it would actually be useful going forward. We've also been told about Doom Hunters, who target those who have destabilized the timeline. That's why, in this universe, these hunters will be sentinels, which Doom will control using magic, just like Magneto did in the opening act of Days of Future Past. Right at the beginning, we'll see multiple universes collapsing, so the stakes are made clear. This story is no longer about saving planets or even a single universe. It's now about the multiverse itself. Magneto rules a mutant utopia inspired by Genosha, and within a royal family-like structure, he lives alongside variants of Quicksilver, Polaris, and Scarlet Witch. The costumes will be a blend of Astonishing X-Men and X-Men 97. As for Doctor Strange and Clea, we might see them handling cosmic mechanics and appearing within Doom's movie. Deadpool will show up as usual with comic relief, delivering meta-commentary, and also explaining the concept of anchor beings. The Young Avengers are currently scattered, but chances are we'll see them unite. The Thunderbolts' role is a bit gray. They could be shown working either with Doom or with the government. One thing is very clear here. The structure will follow the style of Infinity War because there won't be just one Avengers team. Heroes will be spread across different locations, working in different teams. And if we talk about the end picture, it becomes very clear that Avengers Doomsday won't be a normal superhero movie. It will be a thematic continuation of Endgame and the foundation for Secret Wars. Now, everything I've explained here is purely theory. So the chances of it being true are just as high as the chances of it being wrong. Don't take this as absolute fact and then complain later that it turned out differently. I've simply shared what I think could happen based on my experience. So guys, that's all for today. How did you like today's video? Let us know in the comments section.